LAPD officers arrived at Ray J's Los Angeles home around 2 a.m. on Saturday, February 21, 2026, responding to a battery domestic violence call that originated from inside the residence. Law enforcement sources who spoke with TMZ described the suspect as a 30-year-old Persian female wearing yellow clothing, someone characterized as an ex-partner of Ray J. And that detail matters because Ray J wasn't named as the perpetrator here. Based on everything relayed to responding officers, he appeared to be the alleged victim. Multiple units rolled out, and sources described the home as being swarmed, which points to a full multi-unit response consistent with how LAPD handles domestic violence calls. But once officers got inside, neither Ray J nor the woman would say a word. No cooperation from either party, no statements given, no visible injuries documented, and no witnesses willing to talk. California law does allow warrantless arrests in domestic violence situations when probable cause exists, but establishing that threshold without a single cooperating person proved impossible. Officers cleared the scene without making an arrest, and here's the detail that stands out most: no police report was filed at all. That level of non-documentation is unusual and suggests officers found so little to work with that they couldn't even formally record that a crime had taken place.
Ray J's camp offered nothing after the incident. His representatives declined comment when outlets reached out, and TMZ confirmed they contacted Ray J directly with no response. But circumstantial details started filling in the gaps almost immediately. The Shade Room reported that on the same day as this incident, a woman named Shyla, also known as Shyla J, posted footage of herself picking up Ray J at LAX airport while wearing a yellow top, matching the clothing description police had logged for the suspect. Shyla first appeared in Ray J's orbit as a contestant on his Zeus Network dating show Love Cabin, and according to Complex, the two had been publicly dating since 2025. She was even photographed alongside him at a December 2025 courthouse appearance tied to an entirely separate criminal case. Neither Ray J nor Shyla have addressed the February incident publicly, but a woman described as wearing yellow by police and a woman posting airport video in yellow on the same day creates a connection that's difficult to dismiss. What gives the February 2026 call its weight isn't the incident itself, which ended quietly with no arrests and no report. The weight comes from what it extends, because this marked the third domestic violence-related police encounter for Ray J in under a year, and the pattern tells its own story. The first came on March 13, 2025. Ray J had just returned home from the Millennium Tour and got into an argument with Princess Love about their ongoing divorce. She called LAPD and told officers he was being aggressive, yelling, and possibly intoxicated. When police arrived, they handcuffed him and placed him in the back of a squad car. After interviewing both parties, officers determined no crime had been committed and he was released without arrest, though a domestic violence incident report was filed for documentation. Video captured afterward showed Ray J outside, and his words carried an exhaustion that's hard to miss. "I just wanted to be free," he told the officers. "Thank you. You guys are the best." Remember that tone, because what came 8 months later sounded nothing like it. The second encounter landed on November 27, 2025, Thanksgiving morning, and it changed everything legally. Around 4 a.m., Ray J went live on Instagram from his Porter Ranch home, declaring to viewers that he was having the worst Thanksgiving in the effing world. And then, while the camera kept rolling and thousands of people watched, he grabbed a handgun from a table and loaded it on screen. His exact words were, "If these N-words step foot close to this door, I'm gonna blow this effing thing away." Princess Love then walked into the frame holding their daughter Melody and made an accusation that would define everything after. "You pointed a gun at us," she told him on camera.
Ray J denied it, claiming Princess and her cousin were intoxicated, but he also directed a threat at Princess Love's cousin's husband that left no room for interpretation. "I'll kill you. Get out of my house before I shoot you right now." Police arrived with weapons drawn and arrested Ray J on suspicion of making criminal threats. Booking happened at LAPD's Van Nuys station, where he posted $50,000 in bail and walked out the same day. Multiple firearms were recovered from the home. The live stream, which TMZ published and which spread widely, became a partial but meaningful third-party record of the night. Viewers could see Ray J grab the gun, watch him load it, and hear the threats leave his mouth. Whatever else about that evening remains in dispute, those moments were captured in real time. Ray J and Princess Love offered versions of Thanksgiving night that contradict each other on almost every point. Ray J's account framed Princess Love, her cousin, and the cousin's husband as the aggressors, claiming they arrived at his home and became aggressive and belligerent. He admitted holding the gun, but insisted he would never point a gun at anybody, including Princess Love. The cousin's husband had tackled him, he claimed, and everything he did amounted to defending his space and protecting his children. About 20 officers showed up with guns drawn, he told TMZ, and that response traumatized the kids even further. Despite all of it, his final statement was that he will always love Princess Love. Princess Love painted a completely different picture. She described going to Ray J's home to cook Thanksgiving dinner and spend time with the children. When she attempted to leave, he grabbed the gun and aimed it at her and their daughter. A video she posted the next day, captioned "Enough is enough," carried a direct message. "I would never do anything to put my kids in danger," she stated, including leaving them with a man who's waving a gun around. Her advice to him was blunt: check yourself into rehab because you're more than drunk. And then she added a claim that brought in a different dimension entirely, alleging that the last time the children stayed alone with Ray J, they found him naked in bed with another woman. Two people, the same night, and almost nothing in common between what they described. The LA County District Attorney reviewed the Thanksgiving case and passed on filing felony charges, but that didn't end things. City Attorney Heidi Feldstein Soto stepped in with 6 misdemeanor counts filed around December 19, 2025, including brandishing a firearm, assault with force likely to produce great bodily injury, child endangerment, and making criminal threats. Ray J has not entered a plea as of now, and no future hearing dates have been publicly announced. The personal cost hit immediately. A no-contact restraining order barred Ray J from seeing Princess Love or their 2 children, 7-year-old Melody Love Norwood and 5-year-old Epic Ray Norwood. Judges extended that order at a December 19th hearing, which meant Christmas and his son's birthday would pass without him there. Outside the courthouse that day, Ray J spoke to reporters in a voice stripped of his usual bravado. "Man, I don't even want to talk about it," he told them. "I'm missing my kids. I'm missing Christmas, my son's birthday." For someone whose life has played out publicly for decades, that was one of the most unguarded moments he's ever given cameras. What happened on January 31st, 2026 at the San Fernando courthouse caught almost everyone off guard. The person who asked the judge to modify the restraining order wasn't Ray J or his legal team. Princess Love herself took the stand and advocated for changing it. Her testimony was direct. "The children have been asking about him. They are worried about his health issues," she told the court. "I would like them to see their father. They would not be in any danger." Ray J's mother, Sanja Norwood, also testified on his behalf. The judge modified the protective order to allow unlimited contact with both his children and his wife. And after the hearing, photographers captured Ray J and Princess Love leaving the courthouse together in what looked like an affectionate moment, a jarring image given that criminal charges from the Thanksgiving arrest were still pending against him. If you've followed these two over the years, none of that surprise lands the way it should, because this cycle is exactly what they do. Ray J and Princess Love met at a New Year's Eve party around 2012 and married in August 2016 at the Cathedral of St. Vibiana in downtown Los Angeles. What followed has been a decade-long loop of conflict, separation, public blow-ups, and reconciliation that never quite holds. One detail most people have either forgotten or never knew is that Princess Love was arrested for domestic battery in New Orleans back in 2015, before the wedding. She allegedly beat Ray J in a hotel room after he returned from a strip club, and reports from that time described cracked ribs, a busted lip, and a torn ACL. Ray J bailed her out and covered $10,000 for her attorney, and the case never reached a courtroom. Violence in this relationship has never been one-sided, and it predates the marriage. 4 separate divorce filings tell the rest of the story. Princess Love filed first in May 2020, dismissed by July. Ray J filed in September 2020, dismissed by February 2021. A third filing came from Ray J in October 2021 while he was hospitalized with pneumonia, and that one lingered until March 2023 before being dismissed. Princess Love's fourth filing landed in February 2024, and that's the one that remains active today. Between those filings, the signals turned wildly contradictory. They presented an award together at the 2023 BET Awards. Ray J gifted Princess a white Maybach for her birthday in August 2023, and as recently as April 2025, cameras caught them passionately kissing at a Bow Wow concert in Miami. Ray J summed up the whole relationship in one quote after that kiss. "I love her, but I don't like her right now," he admitted. "She's my everything, but I'm her effing nothing." 4 divorce filings, a Maybach, a concert kiss, a gun on Thanksgiving, and then walking out of court together in January? That loop has been spinning for over 10 years.
Layered beneath all the legal and relationship chaos sits a medical situation that can't be separated from the rest. Weeks before the February police incident, in January 2026, Ray J was hospitalized in Las Vegas with pneumonia and heart pains. Doctors told him his heart was functioning at only 25% capacity, a condition he attributed to years of substance abuse that he described as 4 or 5 bottles a day, 10 Addies. 8 medications now keep him going, and a defibrillator implant may be coming. On Valentine's Day 2026, just days before officers swarmed his home, he performed at a concert in Shreveport, Louisiana, with what appeared to be blood streaming from his eyes and a heart monitor visible on his chest. He went on stage anyway. His own public statements about his future are hard to sit with. "2027 is definitely a wrap for me," he told cameras. "That's what they say." That medical reality is exactly what Princess Love referenced when she asked the court to modify the restraining order. Children asking about their father and worrying about his health wasn't an abstraction. 25% heart function and a man talking openly about not surviving past next year shifted the math for everyone involved, regardless of what happened on Thanksgiving. Pulling back to February 21st, 2026, that 2 a.m. call ended as quietly as it began, with no arrests, no report, and no cooperation from anyone present. Compared to Thanksgiving, it barely registered. But the pattern it extends is what gives it meaning, because 3 domestic violence-related police responses in under a year represent something beyond isolated incidents. TMZ broke the story on Monday, February 23rd, and coverage spread across Complex, The Shade Room, The Blast, Hot New Hip Hop, Hot 97, All Hip Hop, Rolling Out, and iHeartRadio affiliates. Bigger mainstream outlets like People, Page 6, and Entertainment Tonight had not published separate coverage as of the following day, even though every one of them ran stories about the Thanksgiving arrest.
That gap might reflect a kind of fatigue or a recognition that until the legal situation actually resolves, there's a ceiling on what anyone can say. 6 misdemeanor charges and no plea entered. A 4th divorce filing still active, but photographs of the estranged couple leaving court together looking affectionate. A restraining order modified at the request of the woman it was designed to protect. A heart working at 25%. Concerts performed with blood on his face and a monitor strapped to his chest. And 3 weeks before this recording, police at his door again over a domestic violence call involving someone who isn't his wife. None of these threads are tied off. The criminal case remains open. The divorce sits in limbo. The health battle continues. A new relationship brought new police contact. And the cycle that has defined Ray J's personal life for over a decade keeps turning. For anyone who grew up watching this man, from his music career to his reality television with Brandy to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and everything between, what's happening right now is difficult to witness. 3 police encounters in 12 months, 4 divorces from the same woman, a loaded gun on Thanksgiving with children present, 25% heart function, and performing through all of it because that's what he's always done. Whatever comes next, in the courtroom, in his health, or in his relationships, the picture right now shows a life accelerating in a direction that has a lot of people genuinely worried. That covers everything. If this broke things down for you, go ahead and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.